Greetings and good day. This is Christopher Fries here with Fries Forge. Today we're going to take a little bit of a look at adding some extra grip to your hammer handle. Now this is completely experimental and I have never done this before. I picked up this hammer. Thank you again very much to my patrons who made the buying of this hammer possible. This handle that I bought on the hammer, however, it's a little on the thin side. It's far thinner than that of which I'm used to, and I find that when I am working with it, I have to really squeeze the hammer in order to stop it from twisting in my hand, and I'd like to help negate that. The hammer itself works exceptionally well, but the handle just needs a little bit of help. I have another handle that I could just cut this one off and put the new handle on, but well, I'm Canadian and I think that this might be appropriate. It's hockey tape. This stuff is fantastic. I've used hockey tape all my life and it works really well for making your hockey stick really grippy. I'm a little bit concerned as to whether or not this will blistering on the hand. Maybe it will be too grippy. I'm not really sure, and I'd like to find out, and what better opportunity. I figure if it doesn't work out and I don't like it, I can just take it off. It's not a permanent thing. So let's find out together, shall we? On all of my hammers, I like to have a grip point, if you could call it that, where it's just a little bit of a raised spot that I can easily grab, and it's kind of a, down here, back here is where all of your power comes from, but up here you may want to be striking with a little bit more control, because the further back you go, the less control you have. The further up you go, the more control you have, but the less power you have. So it's a constant trade-off. The more you choke up, the less your power, the more your control. I mentioned giving it one grippy spot, but I also want to give it a second, because this hammer, I think, is going to respond very, very well to holding it at heel. So let's put some hockey tape on the heel, just like I would a hockey stick, back when I played hockey all the time. Now here, now this is an important thing to note. Depending on which way you go will add grip to one way or the other. So if I were to stack it down this way and wrap it down this way, it would give more grip going up. But that's not the way that the force is going to be moving the hammer handle in our hand. It's going to be moving it this way as we strike with the hammer handle. So we want this to be secure in our hand, and we are going to wrap the hockey tape around and up the handle, not down the handle. That is it's an important note. My hammer's gonna look like a end of a hockey stick, which, by the way, I have seen people use hockey sticks with some success as hammer handles. It's really funny. It looks really very, very Canadian, and I don't know, I kind of like it. I might try that one day. I've got the Nordic Forge logo here. I'd like to keep it because I think it looks nice, but it's also right where my hand's gonna go, so what can you do? I'm doing a couple of passes each time because I want to add a little bit of extra thickness to this. One of the problems with this hammer, there were two problems. The faces weren't dressed. We fixed that quite successfully, I might add. And the handle is It's just too thin for my hand, it's just too small. Now, if you're 5 foot something, that might work out just fine for you, and you might actually prefer that. You might not like the thicker hammer handles. That's great. I hope it works well for you. I'm just going to add just an extra notch here. Go in the middle, and then we go back over where we were and add some more tape, making sure that we're going up the handle and not down the handle, so that way we can have the grip that we're going to need. If this is not becoming one of the most Canadian handles for a hammer possible, I don't know what is. There we go. Maybe if I sprinkled some maple syrup on it, eh? We could forge an igloo, maybe? Go. I want to do a lot of tight passes here to add that extra bit so that I have more to hold on to. Hammer handle. And we're going to go right all the way up, right tight. One of the great things about hockey tape is anywhere you can buy a hockey stick will sell it. Quite a few of you are from the UK. Let me know what you guys have over there. Do you guys play much hockey in the UK? It's a fun game. I like playing it. I'm not such a fan of watching it, but I really like playing it. I'm not such a fan of watching it because I can sit there and watch the people who are being paid millions of dollars make the same mistakes that I made when I was playing. It kind of maddens me a little bit. Well, I like the way that it holds in my hand a lot better now. I like to have a relaxed grip on my handle where it's my middle finger and my thumb that are doing the holding, and if I go all the way back here, then I can hold with more fingers. I think this is going to work very well. I honestly don't think it looks nearly as good as the wood did, but if it works, that's what's most important. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you got something out of this. If nothing else, maybe even just a little laugh. Thank you very much to my patrons who helped me to be able to afford to buy this hammer. You guys are fantastic. Thank you very much. I love you a long time. If you like this video, please do leave a like and comment. Let me know if there's anything else that you like to do. Maybe rawhide wrap, for example. Or perhaps you just prefer the bare wood. Anyways, that's enough for me today. May the force serve you well. Shoot, shoot, bottom, shoot, bottom, shoot. Well, you're still here. It's over. Go home. Well, I guess since you won't go away, I'll take this moment to thank my fantastic and wonderful patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. I love you a long time. Over here, you'll find a couple of videos I've done. This one is my most recent upload, and this one is one that YouTube has decided via its algorithms that you might enjoy. We all know how wonderful and fantastic and perfect YouTube's algorithms are, so I'm sure you have nothing to fear.